US Incorporated Edge Compute AI Platform and Solutions Company. And I would like to inform our chairperson that our other two speakers would be joining us on the virtual platform, sir. The other two speakers will be joining us virtually.
Online, yeah.
So with those words of introduction, once again requesting everybody to kindly be seated. We are going to begin with the technical presentations. If we could have some little more order inside the hall, would really help all our eminent speakers in not distracting our eminent speakers. So may I request the exit doors to be closed, all mobile phones on silent mode, everybody to be seated, please. Thank you. And may I now hand over to our chairperson for the opening remarks and to kindly carry forward the proceedings of the session. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Can I have some silence in the back there? Folks standing at the Aviros and the Tech Bridge counters. Thank you. Can I have the doors closed? I'm just taking over. Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be associated with this first AI session. I have the privilege, I would say one of the few who started working on AI in my undergrad days when neural networks was just papers and articles in journals. That's when I did my first, my undergrad project at IIT Kanpur was using neural networks to predict load forecasting in power transformers. You know, that problem of trying to find out and predict what is going to be the load, electrical load 24 hours in advance was a problem then and is a problem now. And it remains something that the industry has been working on for a long time. As was said by Mr. Subramaniam in the previous session, data was not there before. So everything had to be written by hand and coded. It was a 1,000-line C code at that point in time. And today all of that can be put into a microprocessor the size of a small 1 centimeter cube chip. And the whole thing can be done at the edge. You don't even need to bring the data. We should be able to predict with triple-digit accuracy the load on a transformer on the edge of the network itself. So the network itself becomes very intelligent. Now, what you heard in the morning, I'm going to contradict a whole bunch of it. That is how I do my sessions. I make it controversial. I'm going to poke fun of everybody over here so that we remain active and not fall asleep during the day. Everybody said anything that happened in IT was AI. That wasn't AI. Every automation is not AI. Everything that we could do on paper, we suddenly do on a computer and we start calling it AI. That is also not AI. So what is AI? What is intelligence? I think if we start with the understanding what is intelligence, we will know what is artificial intelligence. And I think if you do a quick show of hands, I'm not going to do it because it's going to take some time, is to say how many of you knew what AI was 5 years ago? We said in 2018 there was a paper from Niti Aayog on AI. That AI is very different than the AI that we are talking about today. Very, very different. Niti Aayog had no idea what AI was or what today's AI was 5 years ago, because when Niti Aayog was writing that paper, they were writing about AI that was in 2014. Right? So I'm sorry, but that's the speed at which things have happened in the last 6 months, or maybe I would say 10 months, has been phenomenal. The whole word AI, everybody is now talking about AI, everybody is using AI. Now AI is incorporated into everything. The people on the stage over here actually have used AI in their products for the last probably 6, 7 years, 8 years now. It is embedded into their product. That means they have been working on it for the last 10 years. Those were all vertical AIs. They were solving a particular problem. They were solving it very well. And it was there sporadically in multiple technologies. What has happened in the last 6, 7 months is now AI is everywhere. And it has become mainstream. It has become democratized at the lowest level. So you and I are also being able to use AI. Otherwise, we needed PhD programmers from Carnegie Mellon to write AI, right? That is what he is, by the way. Now, even your child who's about 8 to 10 years old can go into a program on the internet and can start playing around with building models, can start seeing the impact of conversational interaction with computers. What we are seeing today is our ability to interact with data in a very different way than we did before. Earlier, we had to first get the data, structure the data, clean the data, put it there. 90% of the effort of doing AI was getting the data ready, right? The actual algorithm was simple. It was already available in papers that have been published for a long time, and we were just applying it. Speech recognition, voice recognition, movement recognition, everything that you're seeing today, doing categorization, all of it came down to us having to understand and store data in a particular way for AI to work. That was most of the effort. Today, what has happened is that that data has become ubiquitously available. Our ability to understand data without having to specify it completely, without having to clean it up completely, our ability to take incomplete information and start deciphering information, which is what we humans do. When we do intelligence, when you and I do, we don't wait for the whole universe to completely clear in front of us before we start taking decisions. We are able to take decisions. Intelligence is about being able to come up with judgments before all that information is available. Machines required absolute precision before they could take a decision. Now, artificial intelligence is helping bridge this gap, that we are being able to take decisions when everything is not very clear. Software is being able to fill the gaps and make that information available for decision making. I think that is the major leap that has happened. Today we have got some very distinguished companies who have been working in India, working on very specific solutions in cybersecurity, in vision algorithms, in standardization of this. And India is a major contributor. You heard all the speakers talk about it. The government is giving a lot of push on AI, not just generative AI, AI in general, for us to make significant progress in the areas that were talked about, healthcare. The focus areas that were identified by Niti Aayog was actually something that we have done quite a bit of work. I do consult with most government departments as part of my role as the CTO for the Wadhwani Foundation. I go and see what is actually happening on the ground. Agriculture, lot of AI has already gone into agriculture and helping the real farmers on the ground today. Education, and urban cities. I mean, what we are doing in terms of almost all of you would have got a challan so far. It's all AI. So please blame AI for all the challans that you have got so far. That is AI. Algorithmic decision making is probably not. So I'm going to call on my speakers to give their address through. Do you have a presentation, Vikram? Yeah. So I'm going to my first speaker is Mr. Vikram Gupta. He's the founder and CEO of Aviros. And his topic today is large-scale video AI app deployments, which they have done at Aviros. He's the co-founder and chief executive. He holds a dual PhD, as I was mentioning before, in electrical and computer science from Carnegie Mellon University. Vikram, the stage is yours. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Sumit, for the kind introduction. And it is an honor and a pleasure to be here in this august company. I think being a speaker among all of you is an honor that I don't think startups like us generally get, but we are extremely fortunate to have this opportunity. And to add to Dr. Sumit's point on how AI is being conflated with any digital technology in general. But going further, what we want to bring today here is that how large-scale AI on the ground can be deployed and what are the next steps to look forward to in making AI work at a large scale. But before that, I would like to start with a sarcastic question. So what do you call an AI that keeps making mistakes? Any shout-outs? So a machine that is learning, right? So it's a bad joke, not a very good one. But the good thing here is that actually I asked ChatGPT, what is an opening joke for an AI summit? And that is what it came up with. So with that, of course, now as Dr. Sumit was telling, right? Have seen that AI is actually going to touch each and every person's life in a way that probably no other technology has done in several decades, I believe. People have been thinking about it from 50s onwards. Carnegie Mellon, and actually I'm again pleased to say that I'm a junior to Dr. Sumit from the university. So Carnegie Mellon has been at the forefronts of AI research from 50s and 60s, but I think they will be proud, whoever came before us, to see what AI is at today. And what we are building, and what I'm going to talk about today, is how Aviros and the R&D in this space is helping large-scale video AI. So by video AI, we have a stall at the back, you can actually see. So video AI means understanding video with AI. Video is something that we see with our eyes, right? But whenever we are looking at something, we are seeing and collecting that information and making decisions based on that. If we can automate some of those or many of those decisions, lot of our automation problems can be solved, and that is what we are here to do. AI and video are both massive technology domains. 80% of all data, no matter where, internet, everywhere, is video. The growth of AI as a technology has been exponential. Everybody knows, we know that 1 teraflop of compute in 2000 was probably anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000. Today, this number is from 2020, but 2023, that number is less than $40. So there is nearly 200 times reduction in the cost of 1 teraflop of compute. And that has changed the way software is written, that has changed the way technology can impact our everyday lives, that has changed the way how AI can bring us closer to its applications. And one of the exciting, so this is a chart from OpenAI and Economist, right? We all know about Moore's law, that compute power will double every 1.5 years or so, right? AI has broken this down by miles. The growth in AI compute power, compute ability, complexity, training data, whatever we call it, any parameter that we take, at least until end of 2022, that scale of doubling was 3.4 months. I believe, personally, I think if we see this paper maybe 1 year down the line, that scale probably will be 2.5 months of doubling of compute capacity. So we are at a unprecedented inflection point of how AI, compute, and technology can drastically change our interaction with its good things, I would say. So with this, what we bring to the table and what we are focusing our R&D efforts on as Aviros is, there are diverse video AI apps that can solve our problems, whether it is in factory, if there are a few things that are supposed to happen in a factory are happening in the right way or not. Then, let's say, monitoring the quality of assets. I will come to some of these examples in more detail. Object counting, or making sure whether the Flipkart package that we ordered actually has all the phones that we ordered or not. It's not carrying a brick. So that quality control can happen in warehouse itself, or in a large gathering like a Kumbh or any public event. Is the crowd density manageable by the ground authorities or not, right? So all these are video AI problems. What we have seen, or what we had seen so far as Aviros and technology company in this space, that AI is a lab technology. It is not available for us to deploy in production at scale. Today, there are enough tools available for a BTech student to go online and build a fantastic demo tray. We have covered that journey where, when I was doing my BTech, training a small digit recognition model took us our small Pentium computer 3 days to train, and still it was pathetic. Today, that can be done in probably 15 minutes of effort by, it's probably like a subtext in a second year AI course assignment, what we did in 2007 as a BTech project. So that transition has happened. So AI in lab is fantastic today. We can see it doing phenomenal work in social media. We see that all the time. But when we talk about bringing it to production, production means, so this is an actual screenshot from one of our deployments in Bangalore city. 10,000 cameras across the city. They are all looking at our roads, they are all looking at our markets, they are all looking at our areas where we need AI to help us. We need AI to help the law enforcement. We need the AI to help the municipality, and so on, right? Getting from that lab to that production environment is still a challenging journey. It is not democratized to the level which could help large-scale adoption as we would want it. This is where Aviros and our R&D efforts are coming in. We have built a platform with a marketplace, which has today more than 70 apps, which can solve problems in diverse use cases from the get-go. So it's like having our app store on the phone. We need a messaging app, we go to the app store and we get it. We need a social media app, we go to the app store and get it. The same thing we are trying to do for video AI. You need an app, you go to the app stack and get it. And that can be deployed in production at scale. This is one of the fundamental changes we are trying to bring as a startup in this ecosystem. One of the examples of its success story is we are fortunate to work with a Bangalore Safe City project with Bangalore Police, where more than 7,000 cameras and 12 AI apps are deployed at a scale of a city where you can see the granularity of cameras and different applications, including public safety, traffic, any kind of night threat, or let's say vehicle tracking and so on, right? Traffic management. So all these applications are available out of the box, which are deployed in Bangalore as we speak. And several other details, for example, any kind of traffic violation, parking violation, collection of municipality use cases, how human behavior is in a public space, any kind of garbage for municipality use cases. And we all went through COVID, whether mask compliance has been done or not, social distancing compliance has been done or not. So all these are problem statements that can be solved with video AI, and all these instances that we are showing are from real production deployments. So one of the things that we are doing fundamentally differently is to take cutting edge AI, which is in a lab, to large scale production using our platform. That platform is built in-house at Aviros, and we'd love to take you through this journey. Similarly, we are fortunate to work with CDAC and NEC on Delhi Safe City project, where more than 12,000 cameras, it's a bigger scale than Bangalore itself, 120 large-scale servers are running more than 15 video AI apps for Delhi Nirbhaya project. And many other such problem statements can be solved with the video AI. So one of the other exciting problem statements for a German customer is tracking and locating packages within a large warehouse. These distribution centers are massive. How to find where a package is when a truck has to go from, let's say, one city to other city. Find 10 packages that are supposed to go on that truck. Instead of having to spend 1 hour, you can do it in 10 minutes because you know where the packages are, because that QR code on the package can be read by a camera on the ceiling. One of the most exciting projects, and I think which we are definitely proud of, and we are we made a difference at the world stage. Our product with Pratt & Whitney, an aircraft engine manufacturer, was launched at Paris Air Show in June 20, where using a mobile phone, the video from a mobile phone, we can check and tell whether any part that is supposed to be there on the engine, aircraft engine, are there or not. So this is used for maintenance and logistics purposes, not for engine on the flying time, but maintenance and logistics, so that the quality of engine and the logistics became seamless whenever engine moves from one end to the other. With that, we have more than 40 large customers where this technology has been deployed. We are looking forward to collaborations with all the august audience here. Anything that we can do to solve your problems, anything that we can work with you to bring AI at large scale to a large population is something that we are deterministic to do. Our platform is a 100% Make in India platform, which can do what we have aimed to do large scale video AI deployments for the world. Thank you, and I will be happy to take any questions after the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. Yeah. Our next speaker today is going to join us online, Dr. Chinmay Hegde. He's the Managing Director of Astrikos Consulting Private Limited. Dr. Chinmay Hegde is a subject matter expert in the areas of smart things, cyber network security, and with an experience of about 20 years in the industry with global security giants such as McAfee, Symantec, and Cisco. And he has been heading the application detection and FinFra research for Acquaintance Inc. before he started his entrepreneurship career, where he co-founded Netocall Group, India and Singapore, and sold it. And then he also did Interactive Spectrum in the past. At present, he is the managing director of Astricos, a strategic consulting expert organization for smart cities, smart infra, and security in India. Astricos Consulting is currently working on multiple critical ICT infrastructure projects across the country. Dr. Hegde possesses an intellectual properties in the areas of security analysis, security compliance, enforcement, dynamic insider reputation rating. And so he's going to talk a lot about the use of AI in security. So over to you. I would request the team to get him online. Welcome, Chinmay. Over to you. Yep. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Fantastic. Slight change, not just only security, more of I would consider smart infrastructure rather. So that's my area for today. And just let me put the screen on. This is visible, right? Is my screen on for everybody?
Yes. You're on. Go ahead.
Perfect. So, can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Permission from the moderator. Thank you. Thanks the organizers and well, that's a nice view for me also. The topic for the day is role of AI in infrastructure operations management. So when I say infrastructure, definitely Dr. Sumit touched upon about the expertise areas that we are working in, that is smart things, smart infra, smart cities. Yes. So all of us call smart. Definitely there is no possibility of having the thing smart without intelligent decision making. Right? So that is the the preamble that I would want to start with. So just a very brief introduction about our company. We have interventions mainly the platform, let's say it's Astricos AI software platform, which is in various different infrastructures. So everybody else, I believe today I would touch base on camera or video-based AIs or telecom AIs or any maybe robotic process automations and all of them. However, I'm going to talk about more of a stick to basic necessities, that is infrastructure, which is our utility network, our manufacturing networks, or it could be the data centers where all of our data is hosted, or cities where urban governance, improvement, all of them, and some examples I'm going to show. The challenges in infra management is quite obvious, where all of us know is the lack of collaboration, right? So, like the way in earlier session, I think Dr. Upadhyay was mentioning that collaboration is quite important, right, across the stakeholders. So that's one of the major challenges in infra management, and there is a particular discrete management, which is another issue out there. The discrete accountability and responsibility will leave, there are a lot of catches which are dropped between slips, right? So two slips. So that's the major issue, and it's your problem, it's your problem. So the ball goes to the boundary. So high cost in the maintenance aspect, because everything has to be reactively maintained. So like the way Dr. Smith was mentioning, just automating is not necessarily the artificial intelligence, right? So there is more intelligence required in automating things too. And the global phenomena right now, or the global buzzword right now, is a sustainability impact. is then the energy management in the sustainability itself is a big area. Also, the complexities involved in the compliances, global standards, how do we, where are we right now, and where do we go further in terms of meeting certain goals? That's another headache for the infrastructure operations or infrastructure management. Apart from that, the planning, forecasting, capacity management, all these things lack predictiveness and forecasting measures to fail because of lack of such kind of data-driven operations. The tangibility is missing. How to bring the tangibility? That's the biggest challenge. So, current global traction is sustainable development goals, and there are many pillars which are related to the basic necessities, that is good health and well-being, clean water, sanitation, affordable and clean energy, industry innovation and infrastructure, and sustainable cities or the sustainable urban infrastructure and climate action, so on and so forth. Just brush up on this, moving ahead, where India is, furthering right now. India is moving towards a big opportunity, that is the investment in infrastructures. Why I have shown this particular picture is because everybody can easily know what is this project all about, right? So there is a big industrial corridor across the golden quadrilateral is being created. Smart cities, which has been the initiative. Now the smart industrial parks are another initiative. Smart water, smart sewage, and now the new thing is the next generation data centers. So all these are the large infrastructures, right? So this is the context where there is a particular planning which has gone in for next 1 decade to 1.5 decade in India. Large amount of infrastructure investments are being made, but how to safeguard this without, maintaining them in an intelligent way? That's it. Solution statement is like, okay, I have some solutions where the smart unified operation management is one, and second, at the same time, the reduced maintenance intervention. Yes, it is important to reduce the intervention of manual errors. That means manual intervention has to be cut down, right? So the manual intervention has to be cut down, and hence we have to automate more intelligently and not just reactively, proactively, right? So to bring the proactiveness. Proactiveness can be done with the help of the data which is getting generated, and data can induce the operation in an automated way but proactive way, such as the biggest challenges in infrastructure is asset management or asset maintenance, right? Maintenance of the assets, where there are a lot of issues which get created, where the mean time to respond to the issues is very high. It is important to reduce them by 40%, that's what I'm talking right here, and that is possible too by means of proactively maintaining the large infra assets. And next comes the self-assessment framework, like the way in the problem statements I spoke about sustainability is the issue. The sustainability, proactive inspection, and carving out the roadmap, which is machine driven ultimately, such as machine suggest. So in simple, creating all these things, including the energy conservation by analyzing the IoT, OT, and IT data, because there's a large, ICT intervention which is happening. So the infrastructures are typically governed by standard operating procedures, but these standard operating procedures have become like, patrolling, simple patrolling. But simple patrolling will not necessarily bring you the result. Of course, it may be just a part of the process, but the process, if it is, the data driven, at the same time it is guided or informed, then it becomes more and more intelligent. So that's the importance. And of course, there is a detailed, patent which is published internationally by AI. We can, you can take a look at it for your academic interest. So cognitive super diligence platform, everything. What are the infrastructures that we are addressing is data centers, urban infrastructure, analytics, infra analytics, healthcare infra administration, campus infrastructure. Like, of course, one of the very important projects that we are doing right now is Central Vista, where all of you are in Delhi right now, right? So the Central Vista's integrated command and control center is going to be the intelligent command and control center, where this is going to be the the forward for setting up the sustainable campus operations overall. So that's one of the best example, which is going to be, of course, it's in the initial stage. As you few years down the line, you will see the results of that. Moving ahead, how do we do this? We do through a rapid application development model or a deployment model, where we have the templates which does all the various different features, which deploys, any infrastructure can become intelligent in a fast track mode, which I can say I may be posting code. You may be thinking that I may be posting code. It is 3 to 6 months roadmap. Of course, the data is necessary, right? So the data is necessary, but we have ways to figure out that too, as in tandem with the infrastructure development. Now, a simple example I want to show. This is a video from one of the projects which we are implementing, which is a smart city command and control center, which is made AI and ML advisory oriented command and control center from simply integrated command and control center. The revolution which which is starting from bringing just integrated operation to AI driven advisory oriented command and control center. I'm just going to showcase this for a couple of moments, and as I keep on explaining, here you are seeing this is one of the cities near Pune, Pimpri-Chinchwad, where there are multiple the IoT equipment which are deployed, where such as solid waste management is and also CCTV intelligence. Of course, we do not do camera feed-based intelligence, but we do the alert intelligence. Especially, we take the alert as the data from CCTV system, and when the system has to be maintained. Now, I will just take a simple pause out here, and okay, as I move ahead, right? So the traffic and all of them, we do a kind of intelligence-driven, asset maintenance out here, because asset will call you and tell that I may have an issue in future, right? Not necessarily reactively like the traditional way it happens. Here, if you see the advisory which is shown on the screen, it says analysis shows that the CCTV the feeds have been inconsistent. So the manual, because see, it has been inconsistent, is not necessarily the asset is totally broken down, right? So there is a manual intervention required, or some kind of advisory. It will be automated, work order creation on the respective, service contract also. And also the system will throw some more lights into it. Then what you want to do, right? You want to do this. You want to create a work order, or you want to create a maintenance ticket, or you want to ask somebody to go and check, or you want to replace the asset. Maybe such kind of a scenarios if I have to explain, 8 weeks down the lane the asset may break down, but I know that today, right? So that's the way it has been innovating it. And also it is not just based on only, just throwing the advisories, but there is a data evidencing based on the machine learning models, statistical as well as mathematical operations, all of them, where there is a evidencing that why they have to do this, right? So it's important to tell the administrators that why they have to do something, right? So similarly, various such as in case of this, I would take a little bit of a rewind here and show one example, which is even, So certain advisories would show, 1 second, I'm sorry, it's moved fast, quite fast, right? So classification, yes, out here the data evidencing and zone-based component analytics, all of them, such as, which are based on advisories. As I move, I can also show in which signal there can be what is the speed, average speed people are maintaining at what point of time in the day particularly, what part of the time in the day into the smart cities. Similarly, the AI-powered data center operations management, centralized project monitoring platform for the performance measurement of various different contractors associated with the project. Similarly, the water networks and urban analytics is another one where integrated management can come into the picture. Similarly, workforce management for O&M operations of telecom or any other infrastructures, and cloud services operations in a sustainable and transparent manner using the power of the data and EV charging, all these things, manufacturing systems. Very important case have been one of the cases we are working with very well-known cement giant is ML-driven industrial knowledge manager, where it can completely, innovate their knowledge management system in the manufacturing units by also guiding them to the world-class manufacturing KPI standardization, which is totally based on the AI-driven advisory-based operation innovation. So similarly, the disaster management, building like a green building indices or the green campus indices and healthcare infrastructure. These are some of the applications based on which we are working. Of course, this is about our organization. We are moving ahead. Growing organization where you can contact me for any of questions if you have, maybe after the session or whatever it is, any doubts. Of course, I have joined virtually, but I will be there online. Dr. Sumit, thank you, and thanks organizers for the opportunity. Over to you, Dr. Sumit.
Thank you so much, Chinmay. Appreciate your presentation. We will take, it'll be good if you can stay online, Chinmay, and take the questions if it comes at the end. Our next speaker is Mr. Saurabh Agarwal. He is the CEO of TechBridge. His presentation theme is how to quantify the contribution of AI in the enterprise cybersecurity space. Having graduated from IIT BHU in 2000, he has since worked in reputable organizations like Wipro, Sonos Networks, Huawei, Alcatel-Lucent, etc. In his career spanning 22 years, he has traversed challenging domains, taxing experiences, and extremely educative projects, working across various geographies across the globe. In 2016, he founded TechBridge. He's a true businessman at heart. His persistent and determined nature has brought him success in his field. He believes that the acceptance towards change and adaptation is good mindset to have, leads to excellence. He believes in the Indian enterprises should be reliant on Indian companies for software solutions. So make in India. Go for you, TechBridge. Go. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And
Mic is not on.
yeah, it's not on yet. Yeah. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Dr. Sumit. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sumit, for a long introduction, and it's a great event, and it's an honor for me to address this audience here. And as rightly mentioned, in my career span, I have worked across very great MNCs, and they have helped me to learn a lot. But at the same time, I always believed from the whole journey of my corporate experience that Indian companies should be self-reliant, and we should be developing all the solutions in India. And fortunately, we have current leadership in India, which is very much promoting Make in India concept. And that has really helped us as a morale and as an industry, to develop our solutions. And overall, as an acceptance in the Indian ecosystem has grown very much, and that has helped us, to generate and develop solutions in-house in India. And as we come on the topic of AI, AI is something, as rightly mentioned in the previous instances today, that We used to work on neural networks, and we had the technology in our colleges. We used to work on them. And then, yes, data was not there. And over the period of years, it was a hallucination kind of thing that, yes, we will have some AI kind of things and neural networks. And then eventually today, as we speak, in last 6-7 months, the world has changed dramatically once the OpenAI came with the solution, right? And as Indian companies with the digitization, I'm very proud at many times when we see that Indian context has become very, at par with the global levels from across various things and including AI today. And I'm coming from that experience that a couple of years ago, we were talking about technology taking certain number of years to travel from American market to European markets, and then from European markets to Indian markets. And there has to be a huge gap, and we Indians were always looking, to US and European companies for solutions, and we were always longing to, buy those products and everything. But today, as we speak, Indian enterprises are at par. Our brains are developing solutions in India, and we are competing with at the global stage, and it's a very proud moment for us. And as a company, TechBridge, we carry that motto, and I will talk about what advanced things are happening in AI. AI, like applications are there all across. The only thing is that we pick some area, we identify those things, and we do automation and AI as the next steps. Okay, so today, as I have taken this topic, cyber security. Actually, anything today is generating millions and billions of terabytes of data. We have data all around, and we as normal human beings cannot actively respond on those data points. So we need automated systems to actually work and jostle about the data, as even Vikram talked about videos, or Chinmay talked about automation in infrastructure operations. Ultimately, it's all about data. Various sources of data are coming in, and even security is nothing but it's a part of the whole fabric of and the ecosystem. So today I have taken a topic which is very hot today in the global and Indian market context. It is cyber security, and how AI is going to help. And ultimately, as businesses, they want to see that how AI can help and quantify the whole investment, and in the area of cyber security. Okay, so as a brief agenda about today, we will talk about how AI helps in cyber security, some use cases and examples, and the quantification of those things which we are talking about. And I'm sure this session which we are discussing, it's very useful in the sense that we will see the quantification numbers and how we are leaping forward in terms of using the intelligence, the artificial intelligence is one thing, but ultimately it is intelligence, which is how to interpret, read the data points, and then come up with something quantifiable actually. That is very important for everything. Okay. So basically, when we talk about one thing very critical we have to understand is that everything cannot happen at the core. We are making the edge as intelligence, as the core it is. So security, as we take it to the edge, is very, very critical. And ultimately, AI is helping to make that edge intelligent. AI is helping to control or identify the security incidents at the edge itself. So we see lots of cameras or lots of things, devices across. They are taking the intelligence to the edge, and that is very, very important as we talk about advanced threat detection, proactive defense, and intelligent edge. Similarly, ultimately, in cybersecurity scenario, it is very important that we have intelligence in the system set so that threats are detected as early as possible. Because when you talk about cybersecurity, see, we have incidents everywhere. Many things get noticed, but most gets unnoticed. So using intelligence, we can detect them as early as possible, and that will ultimately help us to mitigate any risk that pose to the systems. Systems can be anything. So AI helps us to take that intelligence to the edge. It doesn't, you need not take the data to the center and then work on them and then respond. Ultimately, probably we'll lose some important time, the critical time in that. So the synergy of AI and enterprise cyber security is very critical, and that AI is very important in that part. Okay. As we speak about one very important aspect of AI is self-learning, actually. So AI models, they keep on evolving with every day and night as they keep on learning what is the new things are happening around. In security, I take a very common example, like when I talk to people about intelligence. Like you have a house, you have one milkman who is coming to your house or probably your street every day, and he's just roaming around. Probably he's doing a recce also. Now you cannot say that he's a good man or a bad man or what he might do, good or bad some other day. But slowly, you as a human being will observe such a person, and then someday he might break your windows also. Now, till the time he didn't broke the window, he's a good man, and the day he suddenly decides that I am going to be a bad man, he enters your house, ransacks it and go away. Now, that's what is security about. AI will make sure that such movements are tracked and they can take an intelligent decision. So that is where is cyber security and AI is contributing there. So identifying such incidents, and out of the blue, such incident has occurred. So ultimately, artificial intelligence or AI, that the learning models, self-learning models, automated learning models, will help to identify such incidents. It's a very common example I have taken, but this is true. So cybersecurity uses AI very, very proactively, and without that it cannot work because it's a huge, immense data which has to be consumed, digested. So it's a very, very, very critical use case which I have taken and the way it happens. So enhancements like brought by AI to cybersecurity, and this is what is a very, very important contribution AI is doing in the area of cybersecurity. Okay. Now, as I spoken about certain use cases, or I took one example, and as we speak, a couple of use cases of enhancing cybersecurity is like we see a very AI-powered intrusion detection system, which is very useful and very critical across the buildings and even infrastructure, which are very critical infrastructure. Power ecosystem, our defense ecosystem, our critical even enterprises or government ecosystems, we need to have automated intrusion detection systems. Then very, very another important thing is behavior-based anomaly detection. Now someone is, it is useful, the behavior anomaly detection, it can be like, as I said, example of a milkman doing a recce of your house. Similar kind of person can be doing a recce of some very important establishments. Now, he can be a genuine person. For example, another example I'll take, you do a customer complaint, you call a service center, and your voice is normally very high, you have a high pitch. Now, you are a normal person. So, when you speak in various tones, the customer care person has to understand, oh, Mr. Sumit is speaking loudly, that is his normal voice. I don't have to react on that. Wherein when he's shouting very, very loudly, that means actually he's very angry. So that is a user behavior. So AI helps us to learn these models and evolve these models. So even cybersecurity has a very big component of such learning models, and it keeps on evolving based on various user and their behavior analysis. Even you would have seen Amazon, etc. They ask you various passwords or various authentication mechanism. If you change your laptop, or if you change your location, even if you change the browser on your PC, things like that. So such behavior anomalies and detections they cannot be happening without AI. And it's a very, very critical role in Indian context and in global context in the new advent of cybersecurity across. So, as it is written here, machine learning, malware detection, and user behavior analysis. These are the various areas which are very, very, you can say, important. They use AI very, very drastically, and cyber security has great use cases for AI being used. And today it's a very proud moment for India and companies who are developing such technologies in India. Okay. A brief over the contribution of AI quantification. That is, lots of cost is being saved, enhanced detection and response. Accuracy has improved. We are the rate of removing false positives has gone down. Scalability and efficiency, return of investment analysis, and customer satisfactions. Using artificial intelligence in all of these solutions across, it's in day-to-day thing, like even as Vikram is doing video analytics using AI. So ultimately the user experience in terms of challenge or anything around, they ultimately improves the user experience. And that is for like security, cyber security, these are various things, but yes, the contribution is immense. A couple of points about the future of AI, AI backed by cyber defense. So we have like smart learning, which means actually spotting the threats and improving performance through data analysis. Adaptive security, which is like learning from the past incidents and adjusting defenses to counter new threats. Learning from simulated attacks, enhancing and transfer learning. Basically, if we have knowledge gained across one use case, we do the transfer of that learning for another use case. There are various examples of this, and ultimately, as a quantification, we have lots of savings which comes into this. Savings not in the terms of even cost saving, but lots of opportunity loss, the loss which would have come across if the incident occurs. So lots of saving in that way is there in cyber security. In couple of numbers, if we see, 61% of the organizations believe AI is necessary to combat cyber security, cyber theft effectively. As per Accenture study, AI tools respond 10 times faster. That is true, and we have seen across, and I am sure the experience will keep on increasing. Up to 50% cost saving in detecting and responding to cyber attacks. A study is there, let's say, which shows around almost 4 to 5 times growth in terms of cyber security market using AI. And around 63% organizations are using AI or machine learning in the cyber security. So these are a couple of numbers, and these numbers indicates that AI is being used in cyber security, and we have seen as a company and as a users that lots of such investments are happening, and ROI is also decent and lucrative enough in terms of use cases and the customer behavior, customer consumption, I would say. Okay. Just to conclude briefly on this topic, see, basically AI is quantifiable as in contribution, and we cannot ignore that contribution. Effectively, it's going to help our consumer ecosystem, our public ecosystem, and as an industry also, we all see like AI is helping immensely across. So that is our take on this topic, and as a company, we are investing a lot into this area in our solutions and products, and we believe that we will be able to serve the society through this endeavors of ours. Thank you everyone listening on this, and anyone has any questions, maybe in this session or post session, we are always here to do that.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Our next speaker is Colonel Surendranath Rohela. He's a colonel in SDA, Director of Standardization, Department of Defense Production, MOD. He's going to talk about artificial intelligence and some key challenges that he's seeing in his military career over 29 years. Colonel Royala has served across a wide spectrum of operations areas and tenanted a host of important command, staff and instructional appointments, including the United Nations, as a military observer in peacekeeping operations. The officer is qualified on disaster management, cyber law, ethical hacking, cyber security and artificial intelligence. He's a master's in military technology, master's in artificial intelligence and MPhil in cyber warfare. Technology enthusiast, he has used his technical skills to enhance operational efficiency. He has vast experience, especially in the field of electronic warfare, geointelligence and cyber warfare. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sumit sir, and to the chair, to the dais, to the organizers, BIF and Bharat exhibition, and to the esteemed guests who are here. In front of these giants, I'll just try to match up. The topic which I shall be speaking upon is key challenges. Now, to understand the key challenges, we also need to understand the human evolution. As humans evolved, so did their intelligence. And thereafter, this intelligence was being transferred to the machines. And the debate that who is better, whether the man or the machine, started. So we were on this, the debate, whether man is better or the machine is better, or the intelligence of the machine or the man is better. So today, as on date, whether it is chess, whether it is Go as a game, or whether it is the modeling of the folding of the most complex item in chemistry called the proteins, that the machines are able to do better. Now, we have been hearing this AI. AI has translated into every aspect of our lives. And if it has affected every aspect of our lives, it is also landscaping the technology landscape. It is shaping up how the technology of today and tomorrow will evolve, how it will affect all of us. It has been defined by the US in very clear terms that for a given set of human-defined objectives, make predictions, recommendations, or decisions influencing real or virtual environments. And they are basically for perceived, real, or virtual environments, abstract such perceptions into models through analysis in an automated manner, and use model inference to formulate options for information or action. Now, the various types of AI are there. We'll just limit it to the basics. There are 3 types, and these are from machine learning to machine intelligence to machine consciousness, where it would reach the artificial super intelligence stage, which would match the intelligence of the human brain. As was earlier brought out, that data is at the heart of artificial intelligence. Machine learning being part of the entire ecosystem is being extensively used for various decision making, analytics being thrown out of the data being thrown inside. Nothing is new about AI. It has been there for quite some time. But it came as a splash. It took the world by its horn by something called the new industry revolution, and that was the Chat GPT. Since November 2022, it has been one of the most extensively used application available on the web. Whether it is reducing weight, whether it is doing your homework, whether writing an essay or programming a seminar, it is everywhere. So it brings out us to the main topic. What are the key challenges? Now I will walk you through as fundamental key challenges, back to basics. First is the data quality and availability. We have all heard of this term GIGO, which is garbage in and garbage out. How does it affect us? Traditional, modern, we have huge sources from where data is coming in. We just heard that video AI is also coming in. This data needs to be processed. A simple classification, male or female. Over 180, male. Under 180, female. If weight 80 kgs, then female, or the white is a male. Is it so simple? We come to this problem. Is it cold? A simple binary solution or a logic? Yes, no. Within those parameters of 0 and 1, there are so many responses which will be thrown if we use the fuzzy logic. Maybe cold, slight cold, little cold. Then what is bad data? Bad data is one which is inaccurate or not sufficient enough or doesn't have the missing values are there. How does it impact us? Taking a simple image recognition. Now we see something on the screen. What do we all see? Can anybody tell me please? Sorry? Yeah, very correct. And what about next to it? Sorry? Absolutely correct. Now if I improve the image, it becomes much clearer. So we have seen 3 images. We will see another image. Can anybody tell me what is there on this screen? Polar bear. We improve the image, we improve the data, and this is what emerges in front of us. Can anybody tell what is there on the left side, the A side? Owl. What else? Sorry? Apple. And what is there on the B side? Absolutely. What else? Muffins are there. What else? Dog. There is a puppy. So we can now see how data makes a big difference. And what is the process? How is it processed? Data comes in, you work onto the data, you train the machine, and thereafter you validate, you do the testing, and if it passes, the predictions or the results are given, the analytics are given. This is what the process is all about. And you keep iterating. As was earlier brought out, 15 minutes it takes with today's computing power to do a epoch of say 1000 or much more than that. But then if the data is not correct or if there is an issue of the selection of the model, there could be a problem of overfitting, underfitting. It could lead to a bad decision. Hence, the completeness of the data becomes an important aspect for this whole artificial intelligence. The analytical pipeline has to be correct. The data which is being fed in, the model selection which is being fed in has to be correct. You cannot have poor data set with a perfect model giving you a good prediction. It definitely is going to have a false positive or a false negative impact. Whatever model you may use thereafter, the analytics which are required out of it will not be delivered to you. So bad data gives you bad decisions. Coming to the next challenge, integration with the existing systems. there are legacy systems, and there are modern technology. How do you integrate these? We have archives, we have archival data, most of the data in ledgers. How do you transfer the data? Yes, today modern systems are throwing up, social media is throwing up, surveillance cameras are throwing up. But what about those data which are there? How do you do the integration? Is there a data roadmap for those organizations to onboard onto this wonderful technology called artificial intelligence? That mismatch has to be covered, that gap has to be covered. It is a major challenge. One small mistake in your spelling of your name from S-U-R-E-N-D-E-R to S-U-R-E-N-D-R-A will make all the difference. We heard the esteemed speaker earlier say how it was important for artificial intelligence to even identify the victims of Balasore train accident. That is how important the whole thing has become. So if the onboarding of the legacy systems to the modern systems, or the reverse integration of the modern systems to the legacy systems, it has to be done precisely. It has to be well thought of. Lack of expertise and talent. We may have smartphones in our hand, but are we so smart enough to use all the features? Have you ever questioned us? Say, for example, a small feature. So many of us sitting here. Does the phone recognize that we are in a conference? Does it go on to the auto mode, silent auto mode automatically? No. But then, how many of us have to be reminded, please kindly switch off your phone or put it on silent mode? So who is smarter, the machine or us? Let's question ourselves. So we need to train people to accept this technology, adopt this technology, and thereafter execute this technology. We cannot be having people as just basic data entry operators understand the kind of video AI or the kind of digital India path we are onto. And this is a huge skill gap. Almost 40% talent deficiency exists as on date. I am sure the esteemed panel will have much better statistics. Another aspect to consider, the cost of investment. For a medium or a small scale industry, this cost becomes very prohibitive. But he has got a major business. He is handling part of the whole, maximum part of the GDP. Let us take these four things, whether it is descriptive or diagnostic, predictive or prescriptive. How do I see value as a business, as a small business or a medium-sized business? Today, you go to a pawn shop, he also has that Paytm machine which reads out the amount coming to him. Why? Why is the acceptability there? Because he found value in that. That a customer comes and if he goes without paying, I am at loss. So he has taken that machine. So if we have to have a jump from what happened, that the customer left without paying, to what will happen if I don't get an intimation, he has to see value. And we have to bridge this gap, whether it is from descriptive to predictive or diagnostic to prescriptive. Ethical and legal issues. They were talked earlier also in the session. It was talked now also. Very important aspect. The threat landscape is very live to the AI environment, to the AI ecosystem. Why I say so? Because it is all data, and data, as they say, is new gold. And if it is new gold, it has to have ethical practices in place. It has to have the legal governances in place. These are some of the responsible AI principles. To the extent, we would have all seen these movies. I'm sure you remember. Where it was projected as very demonly. The same machine which could have been put to use in a much better way was shown to have very different purpose. What does perception go out to the public? We may be a very learned group here, but what is the general perception outside thereafter? Oh, I'll just 2 minutes or 3 minutes? I'll try. Okay. So these are the questions which we need to ask, the ethical questions. Are there biases? If a Facebook target campaign could be run for the US President, can it not happen here? What are we seeing in Manipur? The kind of misinformation which is going on. The Twitter is full of those bots which are posting and reposting. WhatsApp, they have built in a safeguard now. You cannot forward a multiple forwarded message many a times. So ethics in AI is very important. The Association of Computing Machines, they have come out with this principles of responsible algo systems. It is available on the net. I'll just try to rush so that we don't miss. Security and compliances. Data security versus data privacy. What data belongs to you should not be misused. And what data you have given me on trust, I should safeguard that. So these are again very, very important aspects. These are the AI Bill of Rights, what consumers who share the data is. Policy research area is also affected. Audit is another very important aspect of the entire ecosystem. It was talked about earlier also. Transparency. Transparency has to be built into the system as to what is happening. Are there any checks and balances? Is the data being used or abused or misused? This is what the AI governance in the United States says. We also have our things in place, and we are much better off in the world as of date. So responsible AI, it boils down to 4 things. Job redundancy, another factor that once AI comes in, there will be many jobs lost. Why are we seeing a job lost? Why are not seeing that so many jobs will be created? So there are those challenges at the workplace. People need to match up. So even if State Bank of India, from a white elephant, it could be a delivering elephant. So this technology will deliver. Business perspectives. Again, we have talked about how the companies are using the AI. Organizational support. If the organization is not ready to adopt it, if it is not ready to pump in the cost, if it is not ready to change its employees to accept this technology, how will this technology onboard? And if there are biases, if a company runs into a loss because of an AI algorithm, will anybody onboard? So these are the top barriers. So there is a framework which is called the ARI framework, which is AI Readiness Index. Once a company is ready with this AI Readiness Index, it is ready to take on this technology and use this, exploit this technology. Internet of Things. Suddenly we have Alexa switching on your TV. It's always listening on device, data being thrown in. If I say, hey Siri now, most of our iPhones will wake up now. So, if that was it, what if you have an always looking device? Your personal devices become your own surveillance devices. What about that? So this is the IoT ecosystem. This is the snapshot where everything is getting interconnected. The path has just been taken. AI has multiple advantages, and we need to ride this wagon. Every aspect you can think of, it has a place. And these are what the trends are going to be. He just mentioned the video AI and the smart governance, smart cities, so on and so forth.
We can.
I'm so sorry. Just last 2 slides. This is the ChatGPT, how it gives you, and the buzz. Okay, this is a very important thing. Q1 of 2022, 2023, and Q2 of 2023. You see the difference, how generative AI has captured the whole thing. And China, they have said that they will become the world's innovation center for AI by 2030. Lastly, we have IIT Kanpur also in this list. So they are doing also a wonderful job. I remain. You can scan this QR code for my contact details. I'll leave it bigger for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Colonel sir. Yeah. So one of the differences of, just to, like I said, I contradict everybody, so I'm going to contradict you. So one of the things that he was talking about was the fact that you have to get the data. We talked about the earlier part of AI was when you had to get the data ready. You needed a lot of knowledge to start using AI. The transformation that we have seen over the last 1 year, I would say 9 months to 12 months, is that the interface has changed. And that interface has made AI accessible to everybody. It has democratized. Earlier, you needed a mainframe to start computing. When desktop computers came, people got liberated. So the current version of AI that you're seeing is like the advent of desktop computers from mainframe. Earlier, you needed all kinds of knowledge to operate a mainframe, but suddenly when desktops came, people could do regular things. And the first few years of desktop, most people were playing tic-tac-toe on the computer. That is where they learned how to play it. And what we are doing with ChatGPT today is playing tic-tac-toe with ChatGPT, very frankly. That is the 99% of use of ChatGPT is of absolutely no commercial use whatsoever. People are doing all kinds of silly, stupid things, which is fine. Because the 1% who are using it for real work is the value that is going to get multiplied over and over and over. And soon we are going to see that penetrate into every aspect. So I'm going to invite the next speaker who's going to join us online is Mr. Devjit Ghatak. He's a center head for Bridge Disa Center for Data Science and Artificial Intelligence at IIM Ahmedabad. And he currently heads the Center for Data Science. He comes with 12 years of work experience working on core telecom and cloud technologies. Devjit Ghatak holds a bachelor's degree in electronics from BITS Pilani. He has built his engineering background. He pursued his master's in business administration at IIM Ahmedabad, and he currently heads the center. So over to you, Devjit, and we'll take questions after the session. Thank you. You can start preparing for the questions, and we'll go straight into it.
Thank you, Dr. Sumit. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Carry on.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Is my screen visible right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Sumit. Thank you, BIF, for inviting me today. So this is the Disa Center for Data Science and AI at IIM Ahmedabad. It was established in 2021. We have Professors Ankush Sinha and Professor Anita Chakraborty as the chairpersons of this center. So just a quick one, the center activities primarily around academic research, industrial connect, where we look to collaborate with the industry to do multiple studies. We are also involved in policy enablement, and we do multiple activities when it comes to knowledge dissemination. So what I'm going to talk about today primarily is a study that we recently concluded on India's AI readiness. By that I mean we studied 130 plus organizations. We interviewed and we surveyed the CXOs and CXO minus one, primarily from the data analytics and the digital transformation verticals of organizations in banking, in consumer goods, and in industrial goods, and across sizes as well. So today I'll be primarily presenting the findings of the study. It is a collaboration with Boston Consulting Group that they bring in their knowledge from on the ground and we bring in the academic data.
Devjit, can I request you to go straight into findings and things? We are trying to rush the session because we are running a bit late. So I would request you to just go to the main output sections of your presentation.
Okay, absolutely. So the motivation behind this study was economic development, global competitiveness, technological advancement, policy formulation, and social impact. I'll skip these. These are the co-authors of the report. The study approach was to focus not just on the use cases or one key aspect. I think today we spoke a lot on a large variety of use cases, innovative ones, but our focus is primarily on how to derive value from these use cases personas of organizations that we have. We have the leaders who are obviously they have been good before and they have gotten even better in the last 3 years. And at the end of the spectrum, we have the laggards, the organizations that really did not have much of a plan before, but they are trying to catch up. In the middle, we have two interesting set of organizations. One that have continued to steadily improve, and we have the leapfroggers who used to be at par with the laggards, with not really much of a plan. But in the last 3 years, they have transformed themselves. They have brought in the right data initiatives, and they're already deriving significant value. So, what we are trying to explore today are two things. One is what we can learn from the leaders, and the other is the ones that have leapfrogged, how they have managed to do so. So quickly, I think I'll skip this actually in the interest of time. The macro chapter, everyone has spoken about the benefits. We know if India has to be a 5 trillion economy, then every organization across industries need to adopt AI. So a quick look at the spider chart shows us that 3 years back, while the organizations were somewhere there in maturity and the leaders were at the top, we have seen this expand significantly in the last 3 years. In the last years, a large part of the large organizations, they have come up a lot. So, what is the landscape today? We see that 67% of organizations are laggards. They don't really have a plan beyond one or two use cases. So, most organizations pick up a couple of use cases and that's it. But how to tie it up to total processes, getting value at the top line or bottom line, that's not really there in India as of today in 67% organization. If we split it across industrial goods, consumer goods, and BFSI, we see that even in BFSI, we have 50% organizations that are laggards. And industrial goods and consumer goods, it's expected that 3/4 are laggards. We see that the leaders mostly come from banking, which is expected given the type of sector it is, heavily data dependent, regulated, the RBI monitors almost every aspect. So because of that, they are data driven. So we have about 22% that is at par with global leaders. That's what we see in the BFSI. In consumer goods and IT, we see about 5% are actually at a leadership level. So quickly, I'll just say that what are the learnings from the leaders? So leaders have a use case first approach. What they try to do is they try to stitch together a business case that they want to achieve, and then they try to find the use cases that will help them. It's not the other way that they find some use case like probably a generative AI or something else interesting, and then they think, where do I put it? No. They are focused on their business goals and they go backward to tie it up to the AI use cases that they need. The second is, once they have what they want, the kind of use cases they want to implement, and they know what kind of AI they want to use, then it is important that they have the right processes in place, right people in place, and then the right change management in place. This is something that clearly differentiates the leaders from other organizations. So the second part of it is to follow a playbook approach. Even if we have a business use case, one is to break it down into multiple aspects. Because it's a long journey, it has a longer gestation period. The data has to be collected, it has to be analyzed. There's a lot of feedback in the loop. So this is not a 6-month journey. It takes years. It takes years to get the true impact of it. So there has to be considerable funding, milestone planning has to be done. The data and the business teams need to work together. That is very important when it comes to that. So I'll again hurry through. Yeah. Quickly, in the BFSI sector, what we observe is that in the banking, we see the maximum amount of leaders. In the banking, we have significant technology adopters here. In insurance, we have a good segment of players, but we don't see a leader here. So hopefully we'll see something getting better there soon. And in financial services, we have a mixed landscape. What is interesting I would like to add is when we talk about the price sizes, we initially expected probably the larger organizations are the ones that will be the leaders. But we see in the mid-size, we have a large number of leaders. Why is that? is because it is much easier for us mid-sized organization to adopt AI because their change management is easier and they can do things faster. So that is the reason we see this happening. At the same time, they have the capex they can put in to achieve these results. Whereas in the smaller size organizations, what we expected was to see a lot of laggards. But what was interesting is we found that almost 50% organizations have made remarkable improvement in the last 3 years. This is because adoption of AI is not an option for most of them. If they have to survive, they have to adopt. So that's why we see a large number of leapfroggers. So probably these are the ones that will survive in the next 3 to 4 years. So quickly I'll rush past and over to consumer goods section. What we see, as I mentioned, was about 5%. That's it, about 5% are the leaders here. And why are we insisting that AI be adopted? Because we see a considerable impact on their EBITDA and on their revenue. So it is clear that once anyone adopts AI and has the processes and change managed to back it up, we will see significant margin expansion. Now, why is it relevant for India? It's because to be globally competitive, we need to have better products, better quality products, have a better margin so we can further reinvest. That is very crucial. And similarly for industrial goods that I'm saying, whether it's the heavy industries, we see that the basic things are not in place in many organizations. They rely on vendors to achieve point use cases. Point use case can give a value to certain level, but not much more. Organizations definitely need to build in-house teams to work with the vendors. It is not an either or. Both are needed. We need vendors for scale, for speed, for innovation, whereas the organization should develop its own capabilities so that they are able to tie it all together into their business strategy. So just quickly to sum it up, what we see that is 10% probably, just 10% is algorithms, 20% would probably be technology and the architecture and the data systems, and 70% of value that would be derived would come down to the business processes and capabilities. So quickly to sum it up, the road ahead for India is that there's a lot of training that needs to go in. From the leadership, from the top, if the training is there, only then there will be conviction to invest. Only then the budgets will be allocated and the teams will be made, and there will be patience in these Indian organizations to wait and to slowly invest and develop these use cases to derive value. Without that, it will be very difficult to see actual good results beyond point use cases. And then secondly, there's a dearth of AI specialists. Most organizations look to hire immediately or look for vendors. But what is needed is every organization needs data specialists who also understand the domain. If it's steep, they understand it's steep. If it's tire industry, they should understand that and data as well. This requires investment by these organizations to develop this kind of talent. So hopefully it will happen going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Devjit. What we have right now is just a couple of concluding remarks and maybe one or two questions. Ma'am, can I take or no? No questions? Here is what I'm going to offer since I have already asked you for questions. I'm going to make myself available after the session. We will take questions personally. We will just wait around for you to come up over here. Again, I want all of you to go back today from this technical session knowing two things, that there was an AI which required a lot of interaction. Now there is an AI which is democratized. It still requires knowledge. We were just talking about the ChatGPT that you are hearing today. The ChatGPT of March was a lot more accurate than ChatGPT of June, July, because it is training on itself, and that itself is causing a lot of deterioration of service. So we are going to see the euphoria to go down significantly over the next few months, and people will realize that you can't train on yourself. It's called incestuous behavior. People in the industry, people who've been working with AI for a long time knew this quite some time back. So I'll give the stage back to you, ma'am. And we'll keep ourselves ready over here for questions. If anybody has, please come back. Sacrifice lunch for 15 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed for this, sir. And I would request you to kindly do the honors of presenting mementos as a token of appreciation to our speakers on behalf of the organizers. We present to our speaker, Mr. Vikram Gupta, founder and CEO, Aviros. Thank you, sir, for that wonderful presentation. We present to Mr. Saurabh Agarwal, CEO, TechBridge. Thank you, sir. To Colonel Surendra Kumar Rohilya. Thank you very much indeed. And we will be sending over the mementos to our speakers who were present with us online. I would now invite Mr. Shashidharan to kindly do the honors of presenting a token of gratitude and appreciation to Dr. Sumit D. Chaudhary. And may I request for a group photograph of the panel, Mr. Shashidharan to kindly join. And ladies and gentlemen, we invite everyone to kindly join us for lunch. The lunch break is of 30 minutes only. I would request everyone to be seated back as we will begin the next session at 15 minutes past 2. Thank you very much indeed for your time.